The slap echoed through the crowded schoolyard like a gunshot. Everyone froze, their laughter dying mid-breath as Emily staggered back, clutching her cheek. Her wide eyes shimmered with shock and humiliation, and for a heartbeat the world felt utterly still. Then came the whispering, the laughter, the buzzing of phones as people started recording. Jenna, and the leader of the group, stood over her with a cruel smile. "That's what happens when you think you're better than us," she sneered, her voice loud enough for everyone to hear. Her friends snickered behind her, feeding off the spectacle. Emily's face burned, but not just from the sting of the slap. It was the shame, the crushing weight of hundreds of eyes watching her fall apart. She had always been the quiet one, the girl who stayed in the background, studying hard, working part-time to help her mom pay the bills. She wasn't flashy or popular, and that had made her an easy target, but this time, something inside her cracked. For years, Emily had endured the whispers, the rumors, the cruel jokes, hoping that if she ignored them long enough, they would stop. But this public humiliation, this moment where she was stripped of all dignity, was different. She wiped the tear from her cheek and looked up, locking eyes with Jenna. Her voice didn't shake. "You'll regret this," she said softly. The bullies laughed, but a flicker of unease flashed across Jenna's face. That night, Kay sat on her bed, with her laptop open, scrolling through the endless stream of videos and memes now circulating. Online, her face, frozen mid-slap, was everywhere. Every post, every cruel comment was like a knife. She could feel herself unraveling, but then she remembered her father's words from years ago before he passed. When the world pushes you down, get up stronger, always. Emily made a choice. She wasn't going to be the victim anymore. She started documenting everything. Screenshots, videos, messages, years of harassment she had quietly endured. She reached out to others who had been bullied by the same group, and slowly, the stories poured in. The bullies had hurt a lot of people. Most had been too afraid to speak up. But Emily wasn't afraid anymore. The next day at school, Emily walked in with her head high. Jenna and her friends smirked at her, but this time Emily didn't shrink away. She walked straight past them and into the principal's office. Within hours, the atmosphere at school shifted. Teachers called Jenna and her crew out of class. Meetings were held. Phones buzzed with whispers. Word spread that Emily had turned in evidence of the bullying, evidence so damning it couldn't be ignored. The following week, Jenna and her friends were suspended. When the school board reviewed the situation, it didn't end there. The police got involved due to the physical assault caught on video. The slap that was meant to humiliate Emily now became undeniable proof of their cruelty. But Emily didn't stop at just holding them accountable. She used her pain as fuel to build something bigger. She started a support group for students who had been bullied, giving them a safe place to share their stories and heal. She reached out to local organizations, eventually leading a campaign to promote kindness and awareness in schools. She was no longer the girl who hid in the background. She became a voice for those who couldn't speak, and the bullies. They were forced to confront the consequences of their actions, and their reputations were ruined, college prospects shattered. The same public that once laughed at Emily's humiliation now saw them for what they truly were. Months later, Emily stood on a stage at a school assembly, her hands slightly trembling as she held the microphone. The auditorium was packed, and all eyes were on her, but this time it didn't scare her. "I used to think being quiet would keep me safe," she began, her voice steady. "I thought if I ignored the bullying, it would go away. But silence only gives bullies power. The day they slapped me in front of everyone was the day I realized my worth. And now I'm standing here to tell you no one gets to take away your dignity. You have the right to stand up, even when your voice shakes." The room erupted in applause. In the crowd, Emily spotted Jenna sitting in the back row. Their eyes met for the briefest second, and Jenna quickly looked away. Emily didn't feel anger anymore. She felt strong, because the biggest mistake the bullies had ever made wasn't the slap itself. It was underestimating the girl they thought was weak. This story is for anyone who's ever been pushed down. It's made to feel small or invisible. Sometimes the hardest moments of your life can become the spark that changes everything. Emily's Journey wasn't just about standing up for herself. It was about finding her voice and using it to help others. And that's something no bully can ever take away.